We must do good works for others and take a stand against the evil way. But when we do good works for others, we shouldn't have the attitude that we should get something in return for what we did. As Jesus said in Luke 6, verse 35, "But love your enemies, do good, and lend, hoping for nothing in return, and your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High. For he is kind to the unthankful and evil. Therefore be merciful, just as your Father also is merciful." So as Christians, we must learn to be active for God and not just be pew warmers. A great example of this comes from the parable of the talents, Matthew 25, verse 14. "For the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country, who called his own servants and delivered his goods to them. And to one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to each according to his own ability. And immediately he went on a journey. Then he who had received the 5 talents went and traded with them, and made another 5 talents. And likewise he who had received 2 gained 2 more also. But he who received 1 went and dug in the ground and hid his Lord's money. After a long time the Lord of those servants came and settled accounts with them. The first 2 servants took what the master gave them, and they got busy, and they doubled what was given to them. But that 1 talent man decided to hide his talent and do nothing. He didn't lose the money by doing something sinful, but he didn't do any good either. And when the master came back, he was very pleased with the first 2 servants. And so he was able to award them and give them great things for their accomplishments. But I want you to notice what our text says about the 1 talent man, starting at verse 24. "Then he who had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. And I was afraid, and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. But his Lord answered and said to him, You wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gather where I have not scattered seed. So you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers, and at my coming I would have received back my own with interest. Therefore take the talent from him, and give it to him who has 10 talents. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." Some Christians are like this 1 talent man. They don't do anything wrong per se, but then again, they don't do anything at all. They are mere spectators sitting on the sidelines instead of actively participating in the work of the Lord. If good wins, they join in the celebration even though they did nothing to produce the victory. However, if evil wins, they complain long and loud, and it was because of their apathy, however, that produced this undesirable result. So we have to be careful that we are not like this 1 talent man, because if we're not growing and doing good works when Jesus comes again, our excuses are not going to work. And he's going to tell us the same thing the master did to that 1 talent man: "You wicked and lazy servant." If we don't want this to happen, then we must strive to be faithful servants of God.